The sun shone brightly over the Santa Monica Pier, where laughter, music, and the sweet smell of cotton candy filled the air. Families strolled across the weathered wooden planks, children tugging at their parents' hands for rides, while couples leaned against the railing, watching the waves crash below. Yet amid this cheerful, bustling scene, one young woman sat quietly in her wheelchair near the carousel, trying her best to blend into the crowd. Her name was Marissa Hart, a 19-year-old whose life had changed forever after a car accident left her paralyzed from the waist down. She loved the pier, the spinning Ferris wheel, the distant echo of guitarists playing for tips, and the salty ocean breeze that made her feel alive again. But what she feared most were the stares, the way strangers looked at her wheelchair before they looked at her face. That day, however, she made herself a promise. She wouldn't let fear hold her back. She was going to roll along the pier, buy herself a lemonade, and enjoy the day like everyone else. She just wanted to feel normal again, but that feeling didn't last long. From across the boardwalk, 3 young men noticed her. Loud, swaggering, and eager for attention, they moved like they owned the place. One wore a floral shirt, chest puffed out, tattoos crawling down his arms. The other 2 wore faded denim vests, laughing and shoving each other. When their eyes landed on Marissa, their grins sharpened. They approached slowly, like predators circling their prey. One leaned close and sneered. "Move!" The word sliced through her like a knife. Marissa froze. She was used to whispers behind her back, but this was different. It was loud, cruel, and public. Before she could respond, the man in the floral shirt laughed and kicked the side of her wheelchair. The impact jolted her, sending her teetering sideways. She gasped, one hand shooting out to steady herself, the other gripping the wheel tight. She nearly toppled over the edge of the pier. People nearby turned their heads, but instead of stepping forward, most just looked away. And that was when her heart sank. Not because of the bullies' cruelty, but because of everyone else's silence, soft voiceover tone. "Friends, if you believe kindness should never stay silent, that we all deserve second chances and respect, please take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe to Kindness Corner. Together we can make stories like this matter." Marissa blinked back tears. But the men weren't finished. They jeered, laughing louder now. "Bet you can't even get up without help," one mocked. Another doubled over, slapping his knee in cruel amusement. Each word chipped away at her courage. She wanted to disappear, to roll herself away as fast as she could, but her arms felt heavy, frozen. Then suddenly the atmosphere shifted. At first, it was just a sound, a deep, steady rumble that vibrated through the pier's planks. The bullies paused, frowning, heads turned toward the street leading to the pier. One by one, motorcycles rolled in, chrome gleaming under the California sun, black leather, polished boots, tattoos that told stories of lives lived rough and real. They came in numbers too many to count. Dozens, maybe more. Engines growled like thunder rolling in from the ocean. The pier itself seemed to tremble as the riders parked and dismounted. A sea of bikers, men and women of all ages, began walking toward the commotion. Their expressions were calm, but their eyes burned with quiet fury. The bullies froze. The man in the floral shirt lost his grin. His gaze darted left and right, searching for an escape, but the bikers closed in too quickly. The once busy boardwalk fell silent. All eyes were on the scene unfolding. Marissa's breath caught in her throat. She had never seen anything like it. A wall of leather and steel advanced, boots striking the wood in unison. At the front stood their leader, a towering man with a silver beard and calm but dangerous eyes. He stepped forward until he was just feet away from the bullies. Without a word, he folded his arms, his glare sharp enough to cut through stone. Behind him, the rest of the bikers fanned out, forming an unbreakable wall around Marissa. The bullies stumbled backward, their bravado melting into fear. No one laid a hand on them. They didn't need to. The message was clear. "You will not touch her again." Marissa's pulse pounded in her ears. For the first time since her accident, she didn't feel small, pitied, or weak. She felt protected. She felt seen. The bikers never raised their voices. Their sheer presence shifted the balance of power. The pier, once filled with cruel laughter, now buzzed with awe. People who had looked away earlier now watched wide-eyed. Some even lifted their phones to record. The bullies, realizing they had become the villains of their own story, stumbled off the pier, muttering curses under their breath. And then something remarkable happened. The leader turned to Marissa. His stern expression softened as he crouched down to meet her at eye level. "You're safe now," he said gently. His voice was low, gravelly, but kind. Marissa's eyes filled with tears she had tried so hard to hold back. She nodded, unable to speak. Around her, the bikers smiled and gave her thumbs up, some resting hands on her chair in quiet solidarity. They didn't see her as broken. They didn't see her as a burden. They saw her as someone worth standing up for. The moment felt timeless. The Ferris wheels spun lazily in the background. The ocean breeze carried the scent of salt and freedom. And on that sunny California day, an army of bikers turned a story of cruelty into one of unforgettable compassion. The crowd broke into applause. Children clapped. Parents smiled. Strangers stepped forward to pat Marissa's shoulder. But nothing compared to the warmth she felt, knowing that for once, the world had answered cruelty with courage. In the days that followed, Marissa's story spread far beyond the pier. Videos of the moment went viral, capturing the exact second those bikers surrounded her. People across the world shared it, along with their own stories of standing up for someone, or of wishing they had. Her story became more than her own. It became a reminder of what humanity looks like at its best. Closing voiceover. Before we end, I have one special request. Drop a comment below with the words, "Kindness protects." If you believe the world needs more people who stand up against cruelty, let's make that message heard.